Hi, I'm Dean Papajohn. I'm a faculty member in the Department of Civil and Architectural Engineering at the University of Arizona, and I lead the construction engineering management emphasis in our department. I'm considered a professor of practice because I was a practicing civil engineer for many years before I joined the faculty. Today, I'd like to invite you on a visit to one of the sites I worked on. But first, we need our PPE. I've got my steel-toe boots on. Let's get our construction vests on, and also we'll need our hard hat. So PPE has become popular in the medical profession this year, but it's always been popular in construction. Don't forget your water, and especially bring your sunscreen. So come along for a ride, and I'll take you to La Jolla Boulevard. This project for La Jolla Boulevard runs from McGee Road to Overton Road. Right now we're at the intersection of La Jolla and Overton. This resection was blown out to 4 through lanes and plus turn lanes, and new electrical traffic signals throughout. As we turn onto La Jolla, you can see that we built out 4 lanes with a divided median. Previously, this road had been a 2-lane road, and one of the big impetuses for this project was the CDO wash. Previously, La Jolla Boulevard went through the wash, so every time there were heavy rains, the road had to be closed. But now you'll see we built twin bridges. We're going southbound, and there's an accompanying northbound bridge. Each of them are 2 lanes, also with bike lane and sidewalk. Right now we're going over the CDO wash. And we'll turn in here and take a walk to the bridge. Right now we're on the La Jolla Bridge, and we're on the sidewalk. And you'll see that we've got a decorative handrail and decorative concrete sides here that was produced by an artist. On all Pima County Department of Transportation projects, we have an element of the budget that's dedicated to public art. And so the public art is integrated right into the bridge here, and they've done a nice job of capturing local cacti, and you can people that are walking by and biking by have a nice view of the CDO wash here. So as you look this way, you can see all the vegetation growing in the wash. And right now it's dry, but we're heading into monsoon season, and there'll be a number of times where this is filled with flowing water. So as we approach the underneath side of the bridge, we've got this slope that's armored with rock riprap, and that's going to protect it from any erosion during rainy times. As we come to turn around under the bridge, then we transition to soil cement. This is a mixture of cement and the local sand here, and this is hard material, so it'll protect the bank from eroding away. So there's a lot of soil cement that is guarding the side of the wash here. And now we're coming to the underside of the bridge, and you'll notice that there are columns here, and these go 80 plus feet underneath the ground surface level. And then on top of those columns, we've got a pier cap, and then on top of the pier cap are the rows of our precast, pre-stressed concrete girders. These were manufactured in Phoenix, trucked down on I-10, and installed with a large crane. We had to be careful with the TEP power lines just to the west here when we were setting these cranes, setting the girders with the crane. As we come up close to the girders where they sit on the abutment, you can see they're sitting on a styrofoam type material, but there's also bearing plates, which are engineered design steel with a rubber coating. And the reason we install those underneath these girders is because of expansion and contraction. So in the summer, temperatures can exceed 120 degrees. In the winter, we can get down into the 20s. So you're talking about over 100-degree temperature change, and there's going to be expansion and contraction, and the bridge needs to account for that, so there's not cracking of the materials. One of the things I really loved about being a project manager for the Department of Transportation in Pima County was being able to work on large teams with lots of different experts. So on a project like La Cholla Boulevard, we're standing under the bridge. So obviously there was a structural engineer, a bridge engineer that worked on this, also retaining walls and drainage structures. We had drainage engineers to figure out sizing of all the drainage infrastructure. We had traffic engineers that designed the geometric design of the roadway, and transportation engineers to look at the traffic flows and predict traffic volumes into out 20 years from now, so to make sure that the capacity of the roadway is going to be sufficient for many, many years to come. We also had electrical engineers working on the traffic signals. We had geotechnical engineers to analyze the soils. We talked about the columns going into the ground. There's also retaining wall foundations and our drainage structures. So we do soil samples throughout all those areas. We also work with environmentalists who are analyzing the biology, the animals and plant life that are in the area. And where we reseed in the corridor and plant trees, it's all native to this area. We also are protecting endangered species and valuable species like saguaros and the lesser long-nosed bat and pygmy owls and other species in this area. We're working with lots of different jurisdictions, so we're in a wash that is under the jurisdiction of the Army Corps of Engineers, so we deal with getting permits from them. So it's a very, very complicated process, but sometimes there's surprises. So when we were building this bridge, and we were excavating, we found a buried car. Can you imagine that? So at some point, some poor traveler had gotten washed away in a wash and their car got buried and was left there until we found it. So engineering sometimes is full of surprises, but that's great when you get to work with many experts that will handle all the different elements that come up in a project. So I've enjoyed my career in civil engineering. As a professor of practice, I get to bring that expertise and that knowledge to our students to help prepare them for a career in engineering. And I know that you'll enjoy your time studying as an engineer and then becoming an engineer and all the great projects that you'll work on. So good luck in your education and in your career, and see you in the field next time.